According to South Korean component suppliers, Tesla is currently testing battery prototypes with an energy density exceeding 500 watt-hours per kilogram. To understand the scale, that is nearly twice as high as the figures of many modern electric vehicles. If these numbers turn out to be real, some Tesla models could travel more than 1,200 kilometers without recharging, and some concepts, according to rumors, may even approach 1,500 kilometers. This would effectively eliminate the entire concept of range anxiety. Electric vehicles would no longer be perceived as urban transportation and would become a complete replacement for gasoline-powered cars under any conditions. This could hit Chinese manufacturers especially hard, as they are currently focusing on scale and pricing rather than radical technological breakthroughs. According to analysts at Goldman Sachs, if Tesla becomes the first company to bring a mass-market solid-state battery to market, it could regain an advantage for at least 5 to 7 years. Elon Musk understands these stakes very well. Moreover, some Reuters journalists claim that Tesla sees the new battery not simply as a vehicle component, but as the foundation of its entire future ecosystem. This is not just about cars, but also robo-taxis, semi-trucks, Powerwall home energy systems, Optimus robots, and even projects related to artificial intelligence. The more powerful and affordable the battery becomes, the faster Tesla will be able to scale all of its technologies simultaneously. That is why, according to sources, Musk personally oversees part of the development process. Some engineers claim that he regularly participates in closed meetings focused on the new battery architecture. Discussions are reportedly especially focused on safety and production scalability, because creating a revolutionary battery in a laboratory is one thing, but producing millions of such batteries is an entirely different level of difficulty. This is exactly the stage where many companies have failed. Even Toyota, which has been discussing solid-state batteries for many years, still has not launched mass production. The main challenge lies in the materials. A solid electrolyte must be stable, inexpensive, resistant to temperature fluctuations, and suitable for large-scale manufacturing all at the same time. Many materials crack during charging, degrade over time, or lose efficiency after only several hundred cycles. This is why the industry has struggled for so long to transition to solid-state solutions. But Tesla appears to be approaching the problem in a completely different way. According to Financial Times, the company is heavily investing in dry electrode coating technologies designed to reduce manufacturing costs and simplify the integration of new materials. Furthermore, some analysts suggest that Tesla could use a hybrid architecture combining elements of lithium metal and solid-state technologies. This would allow the company to enter the market faster without waiting for a perfect version of the battery. And if this is true, Tesla could introduce the first vehicles using the new system within the next 2 or 3 years. The period most frequently mentioned in leaks is between late 2027 and 2028. According to most insiders, that is when Tesla could hold its biggest presentation since the original Cybertruck launch. And this would not simply be about a new battery, but about a complete rethinking of the electric vehicle as a product. Some sources claim Tesla wants to combine the new battery with an entirely new next-generation platform. This would mean lighter vehicle bodies, new electronics, improved autopilot capabilities, and dramatically lower manufacturing costs. And this is where the most dangerous part for competitors begins. Because if Tesla can simultaneously lower prices and increase driving range, many Chinese manufacturers could come under serious pressure. Right now, their main advantage is cost. But if Tesla can produce vehicles with more than 1,000 kilometers of range at a price of around $30,000 to $35,000, the market could shift dramatically once again, especially in Europe and the United States, where the Tesla brand still remains a symbol of technological leadership. But China understands this threat perfectly well, and that is exactly why Chinese companies are also accelerating their own development efforts. According to Nikkei Asia, CATL is already testing its own solid-state solutions and actively increasing investments in lithium metal batteries. Moreover, BYD recently registered several patents related to new types of electrolytes and cooling systems. In other words, the race has already begun, and more analysts are calling it the new space race of the 21st century, except that instead of rockets, Batteries are now playing the central role, because batteries will determine who controls the transportation systems of the future. Some experts even believe that the world is entering an era of energy weaponry, where leadership will belong to those capable of creating the best energy storage systems. That is why Tesla is receiving so much attention right now. Every new rumor spreads through the market instantly. The company's stock reacts even to indirect hints, and Tesla fans literally analyze every patent, every job posting, and every change at Gigafactory facilities. In recent weeks, particular attention has been drawn to reports that Tesla has started searching for engineers with experience in sulfide electrolytes, one of the most promising technologies for solid-state batteries. In addition, several American publications reported that Tesla is expanding cooperation with Panasonic and several chemical companies in Japan. And Japan, as is well known, is considered one of the global leaders in advanced battery chemistry. All of this only strengthens the perception that the company is truly preparing something significant, especially against the backdrop of Elon Musk increasingly talking about the need for the next major leap forward. During a private meeting with investors, according to Wall Street Journal reports, Musk allegedly stated that current batteries are only an intermediate stage and that the industry is approaching a moment after which cars will never be the same again. This statement created a huge reaction because Musk rarely makes such claims without an actual technological foundation behind them. This was how the stories of Falcon 9, reusable rockets, and Cybertruck once began. But alongside enormous expectations come enormous risks, because if Tesla cannot bring the technology into mass production, the consequences could be serious. Investors are already pricing expectations of future breakthroughs into the company's valuation, and competitors have no intention of waiting. Chinese companies continue aggressively lowering prices, increasing production, and expanding their presence across Europe, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. Furthermore, many analysts believe that China is currently setting the pace for the entire electric vehicle industry. And if Tesla fails to introduce something truly revolutionary, the company risks gradually losing its status as the undisputed leader. That is why the new battery is not simply another technology for Musk. It is a question about Tesla's future as a symbol of innovation, and that is exactly why there is such an atmosphere of secrecy and tension surrounding the project. According to some insiders, the company is even discussing holding a separate global event entirely dedicated to its new energy platform. Tesla allegedly wants to showcase not only a new battery, but also a demonstration vehicle capable of driving from Los Angeles to San Francisco and back without recharging. If such a demonstration actually takes place, it could become one of the biggest technological events of the decade, because this would no longer be just about a car, but about a complete transformation in the way people perceive electric vehicles. If Tesla achieves this before China, the company could once again rewrite the rules of the game for the entire industry. Tesla is once again preparing to do what it already achieved once in the automotive industry, completely rewrite the rules of the game. And if an increasing number of leaks, publications from authoritative media outlets, and statements from insiders are to be believed, Elon Musk's next revolution will not be related only to vehicle design, autopilot systems, or Optimus robots. This time, the focus is on a technology that could change the very foundation of the electric vehicle market, a new solid-state battery that Tesla is allegedly already bringing to the final stages of development. Against the backdrop of growing pressure from China, which is rapidly capturing the global EV market, Elon Musk, according to analysts, has found himself in a situation where the company needs more than just another vehicle model. It needs a genuine technological breakthrough. And more sources claim that Tesla is now preparing exactly such a breakthrough inside its secret laboratories. According to several technology insiders, the number of closed tests involving new battery systems inside the company has increased sharply in recent months. Some employees at gigafactories in Texas and Nevada have allegedly been granted access to separate production areas, where even Tesla engineers are only allowed entry through special authorization passes. Earlier this month, the American publication Bloomberg, citing materials suppliers, reported that Tesla had begun trial purchases of new types of solid electrolytes that had never previously been used by the company in mass-produced batteries. And although Tesla officially continues to speak only about the development of its 4680 battery format, more and more signs indicate that behind the scenes the company is already looking much further ahead, especially given how quickly Chinese companies are closing the technological gap. Today, BYD, CATL, NIO, and a number of other Chinese manufacturers have not only caught up with Western companies, but have begun dominating many segments. China controls a huge portion of global battery production, as well as supplies of lithium, graphite, and rare earth materials. Moreover, Chinese brands are now entering the European market on a large scale, offering electric vehicles cheaper than Tesla, while still providing highly competitive specifications. And according to analysts at Morgan Stanley, this has become a real warning signal for Elon Musk, because for the first time in a long period, Tesla has started feeling pressure not only as a manufacturer, but also as a symbol of the future itself. China is gradually taking away Tesla's status as a technological leader, and Musk needs a revolution to regain the advantage. According to former Tesla employees, the atmosphere inside the company now resembles a new battery day, only in a far more secretive form. If Tesla previously demonstrated its developments publicly in advance, the company is now hiding virtually every detail. Even contractors working on experimental production lines are reportedly required to sign multi-layer non-disclosure agreements. Some insiders claim Tesla deliberately abandoned public announcements to avoid giving Chinese competitors time to prepare a response. And this is exactly why recent months have generated increasing speculation that Tesla is preparing a battery capable of changing the industry more dramatically than the iPhone once changed the smartphone market. The core concept revolves around transitioning to a solid-state architecture. Unlike conventional lithium-ion batteries that use liquid electrolytes, Tesla's new system is allegedly designed around a solid material that would not only increase energy density, but also nearly eliminate the risk of fires. This would lead to several revolutionary consequences at once. First, electric vehicles would be able to travel much farther on a single charge. Second, batteries would become lighter. Third, charging speeds could potentially be reduced to a level comparable to refueling a gasoline vehicle. And this is now considered the industry's most important milestone, because most people still hesitate to adopt electric vehicles for two primary reasons: driving range and charging time. If Tesla truly manages to solve both problems simultaneously, the market could change dramatically within just a few years. But perhaps the most concerning point for Tesla's competitors is not even the driving range itself or the charging speed. It is the fact that the new battery could potentially radically transform the total cost of vehicle ownership. According to analysts from UBS and several American research centers, if Tesla truly manages to implement a new battery architecture using cheaper materials and extend battery lifespan to 20 to 25 years, it could completely reshape the economics of the market. Today, for many EV buyers, one of the biggest concerns remains battery degradation and the cost of replacement. But if Tesla's new system can withstand several million kilometers of driving without a critical loss of capacity, the car would effectively become a long-term asset. Some experts are already calling it the eternal electric vehicle. Discussions are especially focused on the possibility that Tesla is developing a battery with a lifespan exceeding 15,000 charging cycles. By the standards of today's industry, that is an enormous number. In that case, even with daily charging, the battery could potentially operate for decades. And this is particularly important for the future of Tesla robotaxis. Autonomous vehicles are expected to remain on the road almost around the clock. Traditional batteries degrade too quickly under such intensive usage. But if Tesla solves this problem, the company could launch massive autonomous fleets around the world. At that point, Tesla would no longer be viewed simply as an automotive company, but as a full-scale transportation empire. Some analysts even believe that robotaxis are the real reason behind this entire race for better batteries. Because the cheaper and more durable the battery becomes, the faster Tesla will be able to replace traditional transportation systems. Elon Musk understands perfectly well that the winner will not be the company that simply builds a good electric car, but the one that creates the cheapest and most scalable transportation system on the planet. That is why the new battery could become Tesla's most powerful weapon, not only against China, but against the entire traditional automotive industry. Furthermore, some leaks suggest Tesla is considering fully modular next-generation battery packs. This would mean future vehicles could be upgraded in the same way smartphones are. In theory, owners could replace their battery module after several years with a newer version, increasing range without buying an entirely new vehicle. If such a system actually appears, the used car market could change permanently. Cars would stop becoming obsolete so quickly, while Tesla would gain a massive new source of revenue through battery system upgrades. But along with that, tension across the industry continues to grow. According to several Asian media reports, Chinese companies have already started urgently accelerating their own solid-state battery projects. Some material suppliers report a sharp increase in orders for lithium metal, specialized ceramic components, and new electrolyte technologies. In other words, China is taking the Tesla threat extremely seriously. Moreover, Beijing fully understands that if an American company becomes the first to achieve a genuine technological breakthrough, it could disrupt China's strategic plans for dominance in the EV market. That market is currently considered one of the key pillars of the future global economy. That is why the battle surrounding batteries is evolving into far more than just competition between companies. It is becoming a full-scale geopolitical struggle. Elon Musk has effectively found himself at the center of a new energy war where the stakes are measured in trillions of dollars and control over the future of transportation. And judging by everything currently happening, the next 2 to 3 years could become decisive for the entire electric vehicle industry. Because if Tesla truly unveils what insiders are increasingly discussing, the world could witness the moment after which gasoline-powered cars begin rapidly turning into a technology of the past. And the closer Tesla gets to a potential announcement of its new battery, the more nervous not only China, but the entire global automotive market is becoming. According to several investment banks, major automakers have already started reconsidering their long-term strategies in case Tesla truly becomes the first company to bring a mass-market solid-state battery into large-scale production. Some analysts believe the consequences of such a move could be comparable to the arrival of the first iPhone, when an entire industry was forced to completely reinvent itself within just a few years. Because the challenge facing modern electric vehicles is not limited to driving range alone. Battery weight also plays a huge role. Today, the battery remains one of the heaviest components of any vehicle. This is exactly why even modern electric cars often weigh significantly more than gasoline-powered vehicles. But if Tesla succeeds in dramatically increasing energy density, cars could become lighter, faster, and more efficient at the same time. Some insiders claim that Tesla's new battery prototypes may be almost 40% lighter than current systems while delivering significantly greater capacity. This would represent an entirely new level of performance, handling, and efficiency. Moreover, reducing weight is critically important for Cybertruck and Tesla Semi, where every ton directly affects driving range and payload capacity. That is why many experts believe the true revolution may first happen not in passenger vehicles, but in freight transportation. If Tesla Semi receives a new battery capable of delivering around 1,500 kilometers of range, along with ultra-fast charging, it could become a major blow to the diesel trucking industry, because logistics companies would begin massively rethinking the economics of transportation. And this is already a market worth trillions of dollars. According to Reuters, several major American logistics companies are already closely monitoring Tesla's progress in advanced battery technologies, because batteries remain the primary limitation preventing the full electrification of long-haul transportation. But even more interesting are rumors suggesting Tesla may combine the new battery with a completely new manufacturing philosophy. According to several former company employees, Musk allegedly wants future vehicle production to resemble electronics manufacturing as closely as possible: fast, modular, and highly automated. And the battery itself would become the central element of the entire vehicle structure. Some engineers refer to this concept as a car built around the battery. If Tesla successfully implements such an approach, the company could manufacture vehicles faster and at lower costs than most competitors, and that would represent a threat not only to Chinese brands, but also to traditional giants such as Toyota, Volkswagen, and Ford Motor Company. And this is exactly why many analysts believe the coming decade will become the era of the most intense technological race in automotive history. Because the question being decided now is not simply who will sell more vehicles, but who will become the primary architect of the transportation systems of the future. And perhaps the most interesting part of this entire story is that Tesla itself still officially confirms almost nothing. The company continues to cautiously talk about improving the 4680 battery, new production lines, and the gradual reduction of battery costs. But it is precisely this silence that is making the market even more nervous right now, because Tesla has repeatedly shown that it knows how to hide the true scale of its projects until the very last moment. Some analysts recall how many people did not believe in the success of reusable SpaceX rockets, or considered the Cybertruck impossible for mass production. Yet Musk ultimately kept turning his most ambitious ideas into reality. That is exactly why an almost mystical atmosphere of anticipation is now forming around the new battery. On Wall Street, there is a growing opinion that Tesla's next major announcement could become the company's most important event of the past decade, because if Tesla truly becomes the first to introduce an electric vehicle with a range exceeding 1,000 kilometers, charging in just minutes, and a relatively affordable price, it would become the moment after which the market will never be the same again. Chinese companies would accelerate development even further, oil corporations would face new pressure, and traditional automakers would be forced to urgently reshape their strategies. And then, the new battery war would finally turn into the defining technological battle of the 21st century, where the winner could determine the future of the entire global automotive industry for many years to come.